Welcome back to the Nancy Levin Show. Today we are talking about something that does not get enough airtime. The quiet, persistent feeling that your life has gone stale. Not wrong, not dramatic, not crisis level, just flat. You wake up, you move through your routines, you check the boxes, you do what needs to be done, and yet underneath it all, there is a whisper that says, is this it? If that's where you are right now, this episode is for you. Because stale doesn't mean broken. It means you're ready for an update. So let's take a moment to define what we're actually talking about. A stale season can look like you're not unhappy, but you're also not energized. Your routines feel predictable in a way that drains you. You've outgrown something, a role, a dynamic, a version of yourself, but you haven't named it. You feel creatively numb. You scroll more than you create. You fantasize about something different, but can't articulate what that is. So here's what I want you to know. Staleness is often a sign of suppressed desire. It's what happens when growth is knocking and you don't answer. Instead of interpreting it as information, we end up judging it. We think, I should just be grateful. I have it good. Other people have it worse. And so we override the signal, but stagnation is feedback, and feedback is vital. So pause here for a moment and ask yourself, where in your life do you feel the most flat right now? Could be in your work, your relationship, your creativity, your body, your social life, your sense of purpose. And then ask yourself, when did this begin? Often the staleness didn't arrive suddenly. It crept in gradually as you adapted, as you compromised, as you overextended. You adjusted yourself to maintain stability, but stability without growth turns into stagnation. So in my experience of coaching thousands of people, when life feels stale, it usually comes down to one of three things. The first is you are living on autopilot. You've optimized for efficiency, not aliveness. You know exactly what each day will look like. There is very little risk, very little novelty, very little stretch. Autopilot feels safe, but it disconnects you from choice. And when you stop making conscious choices, you stop feeling powerful. The second is that you are overfunctioning. If you are a perfectionist or people pleaser, this one will hit home. You're so busy managing everyone else's needs that you don't create space for your own evolution. You maintain, you sustain, you solve, but you don't expand. Overfunctioning keeps you indispensable and exhausted. And the third is you have outgrown a version of yourself. Sometimes nothing is wrong. You've simply evolved. And that identity that once fit no longer does. But instead of upgrading your identity, you try to re-energize the old one. That's like repainting a house you've already outgrown. Before we go even deeper here, I want to pause for a moment. If you are listening and thinking, yes, this is exactly how I feel, flat, disconnected, stale, I created something specifically for you. It's called Reignite Your Spark. It is a 5-day free guided challenge designed to help you move from numb and stuck to clear and energized. Over 5 days, I'll guide you through identifying where you've gone on autopilot, reconnecting with buried desire, interrupting patterns that drain you, making small, aligned shifts that restore momentum, rebuilding self-trust through consistent action. This is not about blowing up your life or burning it all down. It's simply about waking it up so it feels alive. If you are ready to update and upgrade your aliveness, join us at nancylevin.com/spark. nancylevin.com/spark, completely free. I will meet you in your inbox, and I will be there over the next 5 days with a short video, a workbook, journal prompts, and actions to take. Okay, let's continue. When life feels stale, the impulse is to jump to an extreme. I need to quit my job. I need to move. I need to leave this relationship. I need to blow it all up. And sometimes big change is actually appropriate, but more often what you first need is conscious calibration, not destruction. Staleness isn't a demand for chaos. It's a request for aliveness. And aliveness comes from intentional shifts. So step 1 is to interrupt the pattern. If you want your life to feel different, you must do something different. Start small. Change your morning routine. Take a different route. Block 2 hours off for something purely creative. Have a conversation you've been postponing. Say no where you usually say yes, or say yes where you usually say no. Novelty disrupts stagnation. So ask yourself, what's one small pattern I will interrupt this week? And what will I do differently? Step 2 is to reconnect to curiosity. When life feels stale, desire feels far away. So don't ask, what's my purpose? Ask, what am I curious about? What sounds interesting? What would feel energizing? Curiosity is safer than pressure. Curiosity leads to movement, and movement leads to clarity. Let's just take a really quick energy audit here. What energizes you? What drains you? And then look at your calendar. What is it telling you about what energizes you and what drains you? You don't need a whole new life. You simply need a recalibrated one. And one energizing thing that you can add can make the difference. And something draining that you can remove can create a feeling of freedom. Aliveness returns when your energy is respected. Step 3 is to increase visibility. Staleness often hides in invisibility. You have been shrinking. You've been holding back. You've been avoiding being seen. Visibility creates expansion. Share that idea that you've been holding. Have the conversation. Express your preference. Update how you show up. Growth requires friction. Friction wakes you up. And the 4th is to stop waiting for motivation. Don't wait to feel alive to change your life. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates energy. Energy creates inspiration. Take one small aligned action and then another and another. That is how your spark will return. If your life feels stale right now, don't panic. Get curious. Stale is not failure. It's a sign you're ready for the upgrade. Not a new life, a more aligned life. And start small. Interrupt one pattern. Tell one truth. Try one new thing. Say one brave no and say one honest yes. And if you want guided support in jumpstarting this process, remember to join Reignite Your Spark, nancylevin.com/spark, because you don't need a dramatic overhaul. You need momentum. You have permission to evolve. You have permission to want more vibrancy. You have permission to feel alive in your own life. So let today be the day you begin.